Welcome to my channel Karma Revenge Stories. Please like, subscribe for more videos.
The day I sold my company was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. After 30 years of sacrifice, I finally received $4.2 million. I thought the hardest chapter was over. I was wrong. My late wife always warned me that money never changes people. It only reveals who they truly are. I did not understand those words until the night before her memorial dinner. One unexpected phone call exposed a betrayal so cold that it almost destroyed my family forever. My own son-in-law believed I was an old grieving man who would sign anything placed in front of him. He had no idea I already knew his plan. Instead of confronting him, I quietly moved everything. Then I smiled and waited. The next evening, he pushed one document across the table. I looked into his eyes and spoke one sentence that changed every life in that room forever. Stay until the end, because every twist is more shocking than the last. For 30 years, I built my company from a tiny rented office into a business worth millions. My wife Emily stood beside me through every failure and every success. She believed family was more valuable than money. Before she passed away after a long illness, she held my hand and said one thing: "Promise me you will protect yourself when I am gone." I promised her without understanding why she looked so worried. A few months after losing Emily, I sold the company for $4.2 million. I planned to retire quietly and spend more time with my daughter Sarah and my grandchildren. To honor Emily, I organized a memorial dinner where our closest family and friends would celebrate her life. The day before the dinner, my accountant called with concern. He asked if I had instructed anyone to discuss transferring my assets into a family trust. I immediately said no. Then he told me someone claiming to represent my interests had been asking detailed questions about my finances. The caller was my own son-in-law, Daniel. I felt my heart sink. Daniel had always acted respectful. He called me Dad. He helped carry groceries. He smiled at every family gathering. But suddenly every memory felt different. Every compliment sounded rehearsed. Every act of kindness looked calculated. Instead of confronting him, I asked Mai to cooperate without revealing anything. We quietly transferred every major asset into a protected legal structure that Daniel could not touch. Every document was reviewed by my attorney before the memorial dinner. The following evening, guests arrived dressed in black to remember Emily. Instead of confronting him, I asked my accountant to cooperate without revealing anything. We quietly transferred every major asset into a protected legal structure that Daniel could not touch. Every document was reviewed by my attorney before the memorial dinner. The following evening, guests arrived dressed in black to remember Emily. People shared stories filled with laughter and tears. For a while, I forgot about the betrayal waiting around the corner. Then Daniel stood up and thanked Kadir's stories filled with laughter and tears. For a while, I forgot about the betrayal waiting around the corner. Then Daniel stood up and thanked everyone for coming. He said he wanted to help me simplify my financial affairs during this difficult time. He smiled warmly before placing a folder in front of me. He explained that signing the documents would make life easier for everyone. My daughter looked confused because she had never heard about any paperwork. The room became strangely quiet. I slowly opened the folder. Hidden inside were documents that would have given Daniel enormous control over my money and investments. He expected me to sign them without asking questions. I looked directly into his eyes and calmly said, "I already moved everything yesterday." His smile disappeared instantly. He tried to pretend he did not understand. My accountant then entered the room because I had invited him to the dinner. He confirmed that every account had already been secured after Daniel contacted him without permission. Silence filled the room. My daughter turned toward her husband with tears in her eyes. She asked one simple question: "Why?" Daniel struggled to answer. Every excuse sounded weaker than the last. He claimed he only wanted to protect the family. Nobody believed him. Then another surprise appeared. My attorney produced phone records and emails proving Daniel had been planning this for weeks. He had even discussed selling my vacation home without my knowledge after obtaining financial control. My daughter could no longer defend him. She walked away from the table in complete shock. Friends who had admired Daniel suddenly realized they had been fooled by appearances. Emily had sensed the danger before anyone else. That night, the memorial dinner became something entirely different. It became the moment the truth finally came into the light. In the weeks that followed, my daughter separated from Daniel while deciding what kind of future she wanted for herself and the children. I supported her without anger because betrayal hurts everyone involved. I used part of the money from selling my company to establish a scholarship in Emily's name. Instead of allowing greed to define my family's future, I chose generosity. Every year we gather for another memorial dinner. We remember Emily with love instead of sadness. Her final lesson continues to guide us. Trust is earned through actions, not words. Money can be replaced, character cannot. Looking back, I realized selling my company did not change my life. Discovering the truth did. My wife left me one final gift before she passed away. She taught me to watch actions instead of promises. Because of her wisdom, I protected everything we built together. In the end, I did not lose my fortune. I discovered who truly deserved to remain in my life forever.